Morning. This is a big crowd. Wow. Happy to have everyone here today. Right now, we're on a good story, one of my favorite stories. From shepherd to king. We'll find it in the Bible, book of 1 Samuel chapter 7, all the way to 2 Samuel. I'm sorry, 1 Samuel chapter 17 to 2 Samuel chapter 7. Who am I talking about? Little boy named David. Who is David? And what did he do as a child? And who helped David to defeat many challenges? Did David have many problems? But what happened to David after Saul died? And what did David do about the holy thought? And do we rely on God's help? These are the introduction, but really I will summarize short and sweet. I will do my best to make it more interesting for you all here. You may have seen the movie Facing the Giant. Remember the coach? He himself had many problems, many frustrations. But many of the players says, we cannot do it. We can't do it. The coach was fed up and he said, I challenge you something. Do the death crawl. One man says, fine, I can do it. But he said, do it with another person on your back. More challenge. Third challenge, wait. Blindfold. But coach, you're making it hard. Don't care. Do it. Fine. And crawl, crawl, crawl. Say, coach, am I at the 50-yard line? More. Fall. He says, hurt, it's in pain. He said, fight the pain. Fight that pain. Later, made it all the way to one goal, all the way to the last of the goal. To stop. He said, take your blindfold off. Got up and later, the football players rely on God. One young boy named David did rely on God. Let's learn more about David. David is a young boy who was chosen by God. God wanted Samuel to anoint him. Now Samuel was waiting. He said, God, who do I pick? That person? No. This person? No. This person? Do you have another son? The father said, named Jesse, said, yes, I have a son. So he sent someone to get his youngest son. This son, very good looking, healthy young man. He was very handsome also. The Lord said to Samuel, get up and anoint him. He is that person. Samuel took the horn with the oil in it, and he poured a special oil on Jesse's son in front of his brothers. The Spirit of the Lord came on David with great power from that day on. Then Samuel went back home to Ramah. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verses 12 and 13. As you see the picture, Samuel sees the young boy David. Look handsome, young, strong, dead. So Samuel anointed David for God and his brothers. But God had a reason why David was special. What did he do as a child? He was a shepherd who watched the sheep, and he protected them with one thing. That was his slingshot. It was a special one. Why? He was also there to calm the king Saul, with his heart. So, Jesse got something as a gift for the king Saul. Jesse got donkey, some bread, leather bag full of wine, and a young goat. He gave him to David and sent him to Saul. So David went to the king Saul, stood in front of him. Saul loved David so much. David became the helper who carried his weapon. Saul sent a message to Jesse, "Let David stay and serve me. I like him very much." Anytime an evil spirit from God come on Saul, David would take his harp and play. The evil spirit would leave Saul and begin to feel better. Evil spirit from God? What? God had a plan. But David knew the exact thing to do. Play his harp. The king would become mad, become bitter, angry. But David's there. Wow. You see, he played his harp for a sheep. And he played the harp for a king. And the slingshot is what? That. That was David's weapon. Only one. Who helped David defeat many challenges? Now this is my favorite part of the story. David had so many challenges, but he heard about one tall giant who was over 9 feet tall. And he was very tall that it scared everyone. But David was not afraid. He had God with him. David said to the Philistines, You come to me using sword, spear, and javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord, all-powerful, the God of the army of Israel. You have said bad things about him. Today, the Lord will let me beat you. I will kill you. I will cut off your head, feed your body to the birds and the wild animals. You will do the same thing to the other Philistines. Also, that all the world will know that there is a God in Israel. So the tall man named Goliath said, You can't kill me. Then I'm big. I can kill you quick. All the people gathered here will know that the Lord don't need sword, spear to save people. The battle belongs to the Lord, and He will help us defeat all of you. Goliath, Philistines start to attack David. He slowly walked closer and closer and closer to David. But what did David do? Ran to meet Goliath. Goliath slowly. David ran, trying to show. Goliath trying to show his pride. Say, I'm not afraid. You're afraid of me. What happened next? Let's see. David took out a stone from his bag, put it in a sling, swung the sling. The stone flew from the sling, hit Goliath between the eye, right here. The stone sank deep into the head, and Goliath, boom, fell to the ground, face down. And so David defeated the Philistine with only a sling and one stone. He hit the Philistine and killed him. David didn't have a sword, so he ran, stood beside the Philistine. He took Goliath's own sword and cut off his head. That's how David killed the Philistine. He had 5 stones in his bag from the river. Only 5, but 1. Put his slingshot, boom! It hit Goliath. I'll show you the picture. See that tall man? That's Goliath himself. Can't kill me. But look at David. Ready. And hit. Right there. Face down. Wow. That was the help from God. Now, did he have any problems? Oh yes, he did. The king Saul became very jealous. He also tried to kill David. The next day, an evil spirit from God took control of Saul, and he went wild in his house. David played the harp, calmed down, but Saul had a spear in his hand. He thought, I'll pin David to the wall. He threw the spear twice, but David jumped out of the way both times. The Lord left Saul, was now with David. Saul was afraid of David. Saul sent David away, made him a commander over 1,000 soldiers. This put David out among the men. Even more, they went to battle and came back. The Lord was with David. He was successful in everything. Saul saw how successful David was and became also more afraid of him. But all the people in Israel and Judah loved David because he was out among them and he led them to battle. Saul himself was afraid. He he tried to kill David's wife. The man himself, the king, threw the spear, jumped and jumped. Oh. But what happened what happened to David after Saul died? David became king, and he asked God for advice. Later, David asked the Lord for advice. David said, "Should I take control of any of the city of Judah?" The Lord said to David, "Yes." David asked, "Where should I go?" The Lord answered, "To Hebron." David and his 2 wives moved to Hebron. Wives were Ahinoam from Jezreel and Abigail, who had been wife of Nabal from Carmel city. David brought his men and their family. All of them made their home in Hebron and the town near. Then the men of Judah came to Hebron and anointed David to become king of Judah. Then they told David, "The men of Jabesh Gilead buried Saul." David sent the messengers to the men of Jabesh Gilead. Both messengers told the men of Jabesh, "The Lord bless you, because you show kindness to your king Saul by burying him. The Lord will be kind and true to you, and so will I. But now be strong and be brave. Your king Saul is dead, but the tribe of Judah has already anointed me, David, to be their king." The men already anointed David to become king of Judah. Now, David was in charge of the holy box. Many people always ask, what did he do with that holy box? David again gathered the best soldier of Israel. There were 30,000 men. David and all of his men went to Bala in Judah to take God's holy box there. The holy box is like God's throne. People go there to call on the name of the Lord, all-powerful, who sit as a king above the angel, cherub angel that are on the box. God's like, that's the seat. What? What's wrong? You sin, you're forgiven. But one man did something wrong. So David, men brought the holy box out of Benab's house on the hill. And they put God's holy box on the new wagon. Uzzah and Ahio, son of Abinab, were driving the new wagon. What happened to the holy box? So they carried the holy box out of the house upon the hill. The son of Abinab, Uzzah, and Ahio drove the new wagon. Ahio was walking in front of the holy box. David and all the Israelites were dancing in front of the Lord, playing all different kind of music instruments. They were so happy. They see the new wagon and the holy box. They were dancing. There were lyres, harp, drum, rattle instrument were made from cypress wood, and cymbals. When David then came to the threshing floor to knock on, the oxen stumbled. Then God's holy box began to fall. Uzzah caught the holy box. What happened? The Lord was angry at Uzzah and killed him for that mistake. He showed he did not honor God when he touched the holy box. So he died there by God's holy box. David was upset because the Lord killed Uzzah. David called the place Perez Uzzah, and it's still called Perez Uzzah today. I did my research, still named Perez Uzzah, because of what happened to Uzzah, he touched God's holy box. I'll show you the picture. That man, that's Uzzah. He was not supposed to touch his box. Do we rely on God for help? Have you felt like David? He had many problems, but God was there to help him. But he also tested David himself. Have you faced your giant, your problems? Have you already solved it? Or do you still have problems? Do you have what it takes to be like David? Do you have giants that are blocking your way? Meaning problem, frustration. Is it not yet solved? You have a giant, or if you have a problem, you need to face it. Do you think you do everything without God's help? I don't think so. Really need to rely on God. Do you need to come here to repent, ask for prayer and help? If so, then don't be afraid. David faced his giant. He faced many problems. Today, we still face many of our problems. Gossiping, name labels. Many need to stop now. If you have old thought from your friend, you still dwell on that problem, stop. Go to the person and ask for forgiveness. Say you're sorry. Don't hold, because if you do, God already knows. Please do this. I hope all of you enjoy this story, but wait and see what happens next Sunday. You want to know what happened? please come next Sunday, find out for yourself. Thank you for listening to God's Word.